Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today you are going to be ranking with me all the Korean BLs that have aired this year so far. We got 16 BL series that were available for international fans to watch, and I will be honest with you, only a few have impressed me this year. Overall, KBLs were a flop show this year, with maximum BLs coming out with the same formulaic concepts with cliched storylines, low budgets and forgettable characters. I will dive into each of them and give you my thoughts, so without wasting any time, let's see which BL is sitting at number 16 on my list. At number 16 is Thai heartthrob Mew Sapasit's Love is Like a Cat that failed to induce any heart-fluttering feelings in me. This show is probably the worst show of this year across all countries and not just Korea. I know Mew was holidaying and catching the sun in Jeju Island where he worked in the series because he definitely wasn't acting or delivering any Oscar-worthy performances in this series. First of all, Hanyang Studio should be shut down because they have no idea how to make cross-country BLs, and they're definitely in the business to launder money or something with this production. Allegedly. There was no romance, no cats, and no people in this series except for 3 or 4 people that were part of the story. It could have been a horror series with the type of vibe it was giving. Where did Strongberry find all these scary looking actors and putting them in a rom-com show? I expected more from you, Strongberry, not you giving us this dud after giving us BLs like Long Time No See and Choco Milkshake. This Blossom Campus was riddled with fleas with how bad and unserious the storyline was. I would have given you my detailed feedback if I had watched this whole shit show, but I only lasted about 3 episodes before throwing up my breakfast because of how cringe the acting was and how badly written the story was. I get that BLs is not really that popular in Korea, so the studios have lower budgets, but couldn't they weave a storyline like R-rating sim where you don't need a lot of people in the background and the story is focused on the main couple? Why show a whole ass university campus with literally no other students in the background? It looks creepy as fuck. Don't blink while watching Happy Ending because you will miss the whole series. Strongberry, did your management change, because how the hell are you giving us 3 episodes that are just 5 minutes long? Are you serious? I'm still so salty about the series because I was really getting into the story and the main leads had so much chemistry, but there wasn't any time given to see their relationship develop. It's like giving us a bite of the most delicious chocolate cake but taking it back right away. I mean, why show us something that we can't have? I hate half-cooked stories like this, and I hate Strongberry for giving us a teaser of this story and never giving us the actual thing. I could only tolerate watching Boys Be Brave because of the second couple. The second couple had a substantial story, and it's a shame that the writers couldn't even bother to complete their story and gave them such a half-hearted, uncooked plotline. The main couple were weird as hell, and I can only remember one of the guys running in the opposite direction whenever the ML approached him. They both had a few screws loose in their head, and I could not understand their motivation to do whatever they were doing in the series. The long-haired guy gave me the ick so bad, and the other guy's eyes were creepy and scary looking. If you are new to BL, you can watch this series for decent fluff, but as a connoisseur of BLs, I will never recommend this drama to anyone. It's a shame that the short film was so short because I really like where it was heading. 2 people falling in love during acting workshops is such a cute concept, and the actors had really good chemistry to go along with it. I would have given it a higher rating if this film was longer, but I enjoyed watching it nonetheless. If you have a spare 30 minutes in your day and want to watch something, I highly recommend watching this. Eccentric romance was bad, and on top of it, it was really predictable. I knew from the beginning who the killer was, but I still watched it because I was hoping I would be wrong, because surely the makers can't be this dumb. But no, I was absolutely right, and I hate that for me. Save Saisawat's acting was over the top cringe and annoying. There was no actual romance in the show. typical to other Hanyang Studio BLs. They focus on everything else other than BL romance in the show. It was so fucked up that Save was studying Korean in Korea but couldn't speak a word of Korean except Jung and Kamsamida. Even my mother-in-law, who has just started watching K-dramas, can speak those two words. Weirdly enough, every person around him could understand Thai but not speak it. How can you understand a language but not speak it? Then how are you able to understand it? It's so illogical that it gives me a headache. I only watched the series for Yoon Jun Won, but I honestly wouldn't recommend this shitty BL to anyone. The second lead syndrome hit me hard in Jazz for 2. I don't know what it is, but the MCs in Korean BLs have irritated me a lot this year. I liked Kim Jin Kwon so much in To My Star, but he really got on my nerves in Jazz for 2. His character was written quite badly in the series and his bad acting didn't help his character at all. I liked Ji Ho Gun's acting, but now I hate him since he came out as a homophobic. I seriously hate the fact that the second lead couple Song Ha-gyum and Kim Jung-ha didn't get much screen time in this series, even though their story was more interesting and realistic than the main couple. I fell in love with their angsty storyline, and it also helps that bully to lovers trope is one of my favorite tropes in BLs. I love when the bully comes around and realizes his love for the person he bullied and then spends the rest of his time making amends. Their story should have been the main storyline of the series. Grey Currents could have been so much more than it was, and it hurts me to my core that the producer didn't use this couple to their full potential. The tension was giving, the storyline was giving, the grey cinematography was giving, but they ended the show abruptly with so many loose ends and didn't even let the couple get together properly. When a series is just 5 episodes long, you should focus more on the main couple interaction, but in this series, the main characters spent more time at work or with their friends rather than addressing issues between them. They were acting like this was a 16-episode K-drama instead of a low-budgeted niche BL series. I would have rated the show higher because the acting and chemistry were on point, but the writing and direction let the show down a lot. This is how you make a good BL with low budget. You keep the characters and the storyline simple. You don't spend a lot of time outdoors and just focus on the main character interactions and dialogues. Granted, Bad Guy is not the best low-budget BL series I have ever seen, but all the episodes that aired were interesting and fun to watch, and the couple had good chemistry with intense kisses. What more would I actually want? Absolutely nothing. My Damn Business was similar to Bad Guy in a way that it was also shot on a low budget and only focused on the relationship of the couple. This show was catered to the fujoshis, so they tried to add every yaoi trope under the sun, which I'm not complaining about, but they could have made it a bit more spicier, like the way Suck Film does with their shows. Also, RIP to Park Min-jae, who played a small role in the series. Overall, this was a good show, somewhere on the low end of the scale from mediocre to good. Blue Boy Season 1 and 2 are both worth watching in my opinion. I appreciate this series for coming out when we were in a serious Korean BL drought and needed something to watch before the actual good BLs arrive in the later half of the year. Choi Sung-jin is the type of actor that has chemistry with even a bamboo stick if he wanted to, and he has proven it time and time again. He's also one of the most beautiful looking Korean UKs I've seen till now, and I can imagine him playing so many different UKs from Korean BL manhwas. There is something going on between Choi Sung-jin and Jeong Ryu that I cannot explain in words. Are you guys tossing the salad behind the scenes? Otherwise, how would you explain such intense sexual chemistry between you two? The chemistry between these two is so magnetic that even though Jeong Ryu wasn't the main lead in Blue Boys the series, everyone was rooting for Sung-jin to be with him rather than the main guy. The production did the right thing by putting them together as the main leads and giving them Seoul Blues, because the series worked and their chemistry shined in Seoul Blues. I enjoyed watching both the seasons, and it was a light-hearted romance with the cheating trope, which I always enjoy watching, so it was a win-win-win for me. Love for Love's Sake came out at the beginning of this year and took my heart with it. Doing a transmigration series well is not an easy task to do, but the production nailed every single aspect of the show, from the casting to screenplay to story writing. It's very rare that I get emotional watching a drama, and most of the times I don't take anything serious when watching BLs, but that suicide scene in the second last episode made me really emotional. Lee Tae-win and Cha Joo-won deserve every bit of recognition they are getting for this series because they did a terrific job playing the roles of Myung-ga and Yoo-won. The chemistry was outstanding, and even with no spicy scenes, they made me believe in their romance and their love for each other. The series has so many details and symbolism that apply to every one of us in real life too, and I love that about this show. As usual, our Korean BL mother, Hwang Da-sol, devoured with her offering Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo. First of all, the premise of this series was so unique and not something I had seen ever done in BLs before. Secondly, the casting. The three leads were perfectly casted for their roles, and their acting skills is some of the best I've seen in not only Korean BLs but in the whole Korean entertainment industry in general. The three leads deserve more recognition and bigger projects after the performance they have given in this series. I loved the melancholic vibe of the whole show. Angst is my weakness and I love angsty drama, so this one was perfect for me. Hwang Da-sol's shows are known for showing little details that symbolize the love between the two characters, and in this show too, the details were the most significant thing for me as they kept me thinking about the relationship between Do-ho and Joo-young. The only criticism I have is that the relationship between Do-ho and Yeon-ho was often teased but never fully portrayed, so it was very difficult to understand the intensity of Yeon-ho's emotions towards Do-ho. Even Da-sol admitted in one of her interviews that Do-ho and Yeon-ho had a short relationship when they were both preparing for the college entrance exams, and they slept together a lot, but Yeon-ho never acknowledged it. That's why when Yeon-ho goes to kiss Do-ho, Do-ho says, "You don't want to make the same mistake again." I don't know why, but I'm really obsessed with Taemin and Do-woo and their relationship in The Time of Fever. I don't know what they have done to me, but with the portrayal of Hotae and Donggi, they have changed my brain chemistry in ways that I cannot even begin to explain to you. They are what my Fujoshi dreams are all about. They are the embodiment of my imagination and how I would like a BL relationship to be portrayed on screen. This was a high school BL that had nothing to do with high school because the relationship was mature and the men portraying high schoolers were also mature. And I love these kind of high school BLs where a mature relationship is portrayed and there is none of that childish stuff that belongs on Nickelodeon. I often see people complaining about the ending of the show, but please understand that this is not a standalone series. It's a prequel to Unintentional Love Story, so they had to be consistent with the story of Hotae and Donggi that they showed in that series. I would have actually rated this show number 1 if they gave us more episodes. And the best Korean BL of 2024 award goes to none other than Love in the Big City. Where do I even begin? Let me begin by congratulating Nam Yeon-soo for his stellar performance in the show. He embodied the character of Jae-young and brought it to life through his work. Just as a novel fan, I'm so proud of Yoon-soo for bringing the book character to life. I can't even begin to imagine how proud and satisfied the author of this novel must feel to see that the trust he put in Yoon-soo was not wasted and he did justice to the baby he created. This series falls more under the LGBT umbrella rather than BL, and I'm so happy that a character like Go-young exists to provide hope and representation to gay men all over the world. Yoon-soo had amazing chemistry with all the men he worked with in the series, and I hope more mainstream actors see Yoon-soo's work and get inspired from him to do a wide range of characters, especially those that challenge conventional roles and not just get comfortable with the same wealthy or punchable characters. This was the first BL out of Korea in recent years that had a mainstream actor working in it, and I hope this genre keeps expanding its reach in Korea next year too. So, what do you guys think about this ranking and how many from this list have you seen this year? Let me know in the comments. Bye lovelies!